I think I just,
Hello, welcome back to Workforce Wednesday. My name is Emily Petnato. I am the Workforce Development Specialist at the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce and your host of Workforce Wednesday. Joining me today, I have Joe Boyd, General Manager of Aramark at the University of Scranton. Joe, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
good, Emily. Thanks for having me today. Appreciate it.
I'm very excited to learn about Aramark and what you guys do. Can you start by telling us?
Sure. So we're here on campus at the beautiful University of Scranton. I have been here since 1992, and Aramark has been on campus here for 54 years. Aramark is a food service company that's not only into food service, but facilities, uniform services. They're in 19 countries around the world. And here on campus, we're looking for food service staff. Our typical level of employment is about 300 staff members. And, of course, with COVID and other complications, we've run short on that. And we're trying to get the word out that we're looking for staff members. So.
And you're looking for staff members strictly on campus, nowhere outside of the University of Scranton campus, correct?
Correct. Right. So, we have different buildings that we operate food service in. Our main building is the Patrick and Margaret DeNaples Center, which I'm in right now. We have a retail location that has multiple locations there. We actually have a Chick-fil-A. Interesting fact, it was the first one on the East Coast this far up in 2018 when we opened this building up. And we have a Which, which is a brand, national brand out of Texas. We have a pizza pasta station there, Grillworks Zoka. We have a national brand of Starbucks on campus right next to that location. And we actually have an Einstein Bagel Brothers on campus also. We have another location that we're interested in getting staff for also across the street from DeNaples Center. So
what are the positions you're looking to fill?
Sure, from food service workers to cooks to lead food service workers here on campus. So we have different classifications with our dining services employees, but there's many different shifts. We're, when we're full swing and full operation, we're open at 7 in the morning and typically close at 11 o'clock at night. So we have multiple positions available within all of these operations. So, we have some Monday through Friday. Of course, we're open on the weekends too. So, basically it's, trying to find out what position is best for the individual and then trying to fit them into a, position that they fits with their schedule too. So, we have to kind of standardize those shifts. We have shifts posted and, the times for those shifts, but, and again, the rates would depend on exactly what shifts they would apply for. Our employees are unionized. And so of course we go off a bid sheet for those open positions, but again, we are trying to fill around 70 or so positions on campus to keep stations open for our students. As I talked earlier, we had our little conversation. It's a great place to work. Again, I don't think would have been on campus since '92 if it wasn't. We have many employees that are 20 plus years. We have employees that are 15 years, many of them, and even 10-year employees. So again, it is a good place. We deal with happy customers. They're students. They thank us when they leave the operations after they've had a meal. In food service, that's sometimes not heard of. We don't have many complaints on our campus. And as you can see behind me, in the Princeton Review, we were rated number 7 with best food on campus. That was out of 450 schools across the country. So pretty proud to be the leader of that. But we have a great team, management, and great team of employees presently on campus. So
that's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you.
What was your role when you started in '92?
Oh, great question. I was the assistant catering director. So many hours, many parties. It was a unique experience to come from Aramark. Actually, I was at a ski resort in Poconos. They went self-op with food service, and this position became available, and I came down here, and I've been here since and moved up through the chain, and now to the GM of dining on campus.
So there is opportunity to grow in any of the positions.
There is. I mentioned earlier, being Aramark doesn't guarantee you a job with Aramark, but let's say you're transferring to Philadelphia. There's we do food service at Temple, Drexel, St. Joe's, for example. So, they're in our region. I make a phone call to the leaders in that location and kind of open up the door for a person who's looking for an opportunity in that location. Again, it doesn't guarantee you a job, but at least gives you the availability of getting an interview. And all the Aramark way, that's a good thing. And we have a lot of systems in place. We're very focused on employee safety. As I mentioned to you earlier, our employees on campus get a $50 shoe credit every year to replace their shoes for crews, which are safety shoes to prevent people from slipping. We provide free uniforms, 5 sets, 5 pairs of pants, 5 sets of shirts. We have something in play with the safety gloves. So when you're using a knife, hopefully to prevent you from getting cut. Again, the one thing we talk about safety on our campus is that I don't want anybody injured, that is employed on campus. One, it hurts the staff around them, but 2, it hurts the person that gets hurt. And that's the biggest thing that we try to prevent is injury to employees. We don't want to see people get injured because that's not good for anybody. So.
That's great that you even provide a shoe credit. Shoes for working in the food industry are extremely expensive. Are there any other benefits that you have?
Yeah, sure. As I mentioned earlier too, we have, being a dining services employee on campus, you will get a Royal card. That Royal card will give you access to the Colts bus system. So you could ride the Colts bus for free, for example. Our buildings are on lockdown right now because the campus is closed to visitors, but that card will also get you into the building and again, free access to the Colts bus system. I mentioned the high level here. If you're here with us for 8 years plus, you get 20 days vacation. We do offer bereavement pay of 3 days, and if something would happen. Sick time, if you're here more than eight years, you get 12 days sick days that you could use. We have short-term disability. We have, like I said, as I mentioned, uniforms. You get free food on your break, so you don't have to pay for food. A lot of companies don't do that. We offer that to you. We have right here on the 3rd floor, we have a fresh food company that offers 14 different stations, and all that food is available for our employees to have if they want. We have some employees that have 3 entrees for lunch. It's I don't know how they eat 3 entrees, but they do. Which is allowable. So some of our employees do get, they come in early, they get a cup of coffee and a muffin or a bagel or something. But that's the one thing we realized is that treating our employees fairly and right, allows them to stay on campus longer than most food service employees do. So
earlier you mentioned employees having the ability to see which shifts are open and choose them. Does that mean this would be a good opportunity for even students to apply?
Sure, absolutely. We're looking, we had a pretty good student base this past semester, mostly international students. The one thing on campus is that the university, which I feel really good about and safe about, is that they mandated all faculty and staff, including dining employees and students, to be fully vaccinated. So which I think has protected us in a sense as a community, which maybe not as evident in other campuses, but here we feel protected. We were open during COVID when a lot of businesses shut down. We were full swing. We were open. Our facilities were open, and we protected our employees and our students. But where other campuses might have been shut down because the universities went virtual, and it's really credit to, I think, the community itself came together. We had table dividers on chairs, on tables. We reduced our capacity levels, to suit the need, for the customers for separation. But everybody together in the community worked very well to provide service during that period of time. So,
for your cook positions, what are some of the qualifications needed?
So for cooks, we look for someone that's possibly been in a restaurant facility. The fresh food company is a location, as I mentioned, has 14 different stations for pickup. So the lunch menu is different from the dinner menu, and it rotates. So we have recipes, and again, I think something that could be taught, but you have to read the recipe, you have to follow the recipe, and then you produce the item. The one thing with 14 different stations, there's teams at each location that will produce. For example, we might have a grilled salmon with fresh broccolini and a side vegetable or a side starch. That's the only menu item you're preparing, but you might do 300 of those or 400 of those. Chicken nuggets, when we do chicken nuggets, might do 900 servings. But we have chicken parm, we have deconstructed sushi bowls, we have upscale Wednesday with New York strip steak on it. It's really a unique operation. But like in a restaurant where you're choosing from a menu of maybe 30 items and you have to produce each one. In this operation, you have to produce one menu item that's given to you for the meal period, which is maybe not as hard as a restaurant where you have to kind of stop what you're doing and make a steak, stop what you're doing, make a chicken. This is something different that allows you to, focus on that one entree. So
which positions would be best for students to apply to?
Yeah, those would be in our retail location where we're pretty much, in our short area. That's, which is a national brand out of Texas, Chick-fil-A, which is out of Atlanta. But those stations in general are serving the same menu for lunch, dinner, late night. And those menu items are able to be kind of taught on what to do and how to put it together. And, of course, the sandwiches might change, but, when you have a Chick-fil-A sandwich, it's a Chick-fil-A sandwich, it's about how to produce that. Or, sometimes students or customers will come up to the line and they'll want, a deluxe sandwich, which you have to put lettuce and tomato and cheese on it. So those are the areas where we see success with our student population. And anybody that might be afraid of, I don't do food service, but I'm willing to learn or try. Those are the areas that we can train staff to be able to, take care of the customer.
Are most of your stations open every day? And if so, what do the hours look like?
Yeah, sure. So when we go full swing, we're open 7 days a week. Typically Monday through Friday, we're open 7 to 11. There are variant hours for each location, but on the weekends, we're open, 10:30 to 10 and 10:30 to 11. So, primarily anywhere in between that 7 to 11 or 7 to 10, we're open in locations. Again, specific locations across the street, I think about more of a Monday through Friday operation. Einstein Bagels is at the other end of campus, which is a Monday through Friday operation. But the main hub, I'll call it, is the Patrick and Margaret DeNaples Center, which houses a residential facility, which is an all-you-can-eat facility. So you could come in and eat as much as you want, or come back and just eat in that location all day long. So it's kind of unique. The retail location downstairs is in the same building, which houses the I'll call it belly up system with you place an order and you're picking it up. Or we have unique, we opened up mobile ordering about a year and a half ago, and a lot of our students use that daily and frequently. So it's really reading a ticket and producing a menu item based on the order.
How can people apply? Do you have any hiring events someone can come to?
Sure. Yeah, we actually have one this Friday at the Radisson Hotel. We're on the first floor there. We're doing a job fair from 8 to 5 on Friday. We're also going to do one, if I look at the dates correctly, on the 14th and the 21st at the same location at the Radisson. So we found it easier for staff or potential employees to come to that location due to the fact that the buildings are locked down here on campus. So to do an interview, it's sometimes difficult. But if that doesn't suit someone, we can actually work on getting them to the building, getting them in. Of course, there's a mask mandate on campus too, where you're entering a building, you have to have a mask. But we do the interview and then start to do the paperwork and processes for hiring. So
if an interested job seeker attended the hiring event, you do an on-the-spot interview?
Mm-hmm.
And would they hear back that day or a couple days later? What does the process look like?
Yeah, so I don't want to say it's complicated, but we do, there's a background check done on staff. We have to do fingerprinting, FBI clearance, and child abuse clearance, kind of something that most colleges in the state of Pennsylvania are doing. And again, once those paperwork is completed, that we sign you up for, we pay for everything. It's about a $50 process for each employee, but all that is paid by us. And the employees have to go for fingerprinting down at the Steamtown Mall. But again, it's all paid by us, and we just have to go through the process of doing that. Once we hear back all that, it depends on. We've had a lot of success with staff members coming in that have worked in child care facilities that actually have those pieces of paper and background checks in play, and we see a quicker turnaround for that employee once we start the process. Start to send the employee a job offer letter. So it really depends on the individual and the steps that we need to take. But we try to do everything in that interview to make sure when the employee leaves that we've given them the job offer letter, they are able to acknowledge that, and then we start to sign them up for all those background checks and everything else that we have to do. So basically, we just wait for that information to come back approved, and then we move forward with hiring.
If I was an interested job seeker, how can I learn more and apply?
Sure, it'll be aramark.com, and you'd want to do a search for the University of Scranton. There are multiple locations in Scranton that there's other Aramark accounts, but you want to specifically look for those job codes that are related to the University of Scranton.
Joe, thank you again for joining me today.
Sure, you're welcome.
As a job seeker, head to aramark.com or the Scranton Chamber's website on our job board, and you can see all the available positions at the University of Scranton Aramark. If you are a business owner interested in registering for an upcoming Workforce Wednesday session or would like to learn more about Workforce Wednesday, please contact me at epetnato@scrantonchamber.com or call 570-342-7711. To learn more about Workforce Wednesday or view more available job postings by our many member businesses, please visit thescrantonchamber.com. Thank you again for joining me today, and tune in next week when we speak to the University of Scranton itself. Bye.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, folks. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.